In the comics, Professor X is the one who founded the X-Men and led them for decades. But what if Charles Xavier never existed? What if there was no school for higher learning? What if a desperate Magneto, filled with the hatred for mankind that burned within him, instead became the reluctant hero and mentor to a new generation of mutants? He is soaked to the bone from head to toe. He is haunted by memories of the war and the horrors he saw. It's perfect for what he has in mind. After gathering materials and parts from nearby junkyards, he sets about the task of building his own version of Cerebro. Magneto stands back to admire his work. The machine is complete. He names it Cerebro. Magneto approaches him not as a conqueror, but as a teacher, offering guidance and support. Another time he finds a young girl with telepathic abilities, but she is so afraid of her powers that she has locked herself away from the world. Again, Magneto steps in, not as a master, but as a friend, helping her to understand and accept her abilities. Finally, he locates a young man who can fly, but is so ashamed of his mutant powers that he spends most of his time underground. And so the fight for acceptance and equality continues. Led by the one man who once sought to rule over humanity, Magneto, the reluctant hero who should be the first villain this new team faces. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see the story of Magneto's X-Men continue, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. And be sure to check out my other videos, including my What If series where we explore all sorts of alternate possibilities in the Marvel Universe. Till next time, stay safe, stay awesome, and remember, you are all mutants. Once more, Magneto reaches out, not as a ruler, but as a father, showing him that he is not alone. Using his new creation, he begins searching for other mutants. Seeking out those who have been hiding in the shadows and those who are yet to discover their powers. The young mutants learn to control their powers, but more importantly, they learn to accept themselves. It is not always easy. Military force arrives at the mansion looking for the mutants living there. As the years pass, Magneto continues to train new mutants, teaching them how to use their powers and control their abilities. He instills in them the importance of acceptance and understanding, but also the strength and courage it takes to stand up for what is right. Under his guidance, they become powerful and confident, ready to face whatever challenges may come their way. Magneto must now make a choice. Does he flee with his students and continue to live in hiding, or does he stand and fight? In the end, he chooses to fight, not just for himself, but for all the mutants who have become his family. With a powerful surge of his mutant abilities, he unleashes a torrent of magnetic force, sending the military force's weapons flying and their vehicles crashing. He stands before his students, his eyes blazing with power, and creates a protective dome around the mansion, shielding them from harm. There are times when they lose control, when their powers run wild and threaten to destroy everything around them. But Magneto is always there to help them pick up the pieces, to guide them and teach them how to be more than just mutants. When he finds them, he doesn't bring them to his mansion right away. No, he watches them from afar, studying them, waiting until he is sure they are ready. Using his mastery of magnetism, we watch as he levitates thousands of metal components and weaves them together into a massive, intricate machine. The raw power and precision required for this task is nothing short of amazing. Magneto, however, is not daunted. He works tirelessly, fueled by his desire to create a better world for mutants everywhere. Day and night he labors, bending metal to his will and bringing his grand vision to life. But something else burns inside him, a powerful mix of mutant abilities and personal tragedy that has shaped him into the man he is today. The death of his parents at the hands of humans during the war fueled his hatred for all of humanity. Now, despite his anger and resentment, he comes across a group of young mutants being attacked by an angry mob. It's the same kind of persecution he faced growing up. Seeing these innocent lives being destroyed by blind hatred makes him feel compelled to help. But his true intentions lie elsewhere. He wants to build an army, an elite force of mutants, who will rise up against humanity. But first, he needs to take care of these mutants, these innocent victims of circumstance. With a heavy heart and a grim resolve, he confronts the mob, ready to fight for these young mutants and plan for the future. The only thing keeping him dry is the backpack on his shoulders. The boy pulls his jacket tighter around him, trying to ignore the stares from people as he walks past. As he continues on his way, he feels the rain start to pick up. That's when the first raindrop hits him, looks back, but there isn't a cloud in the sky. Then he feels the next drop hit him. Soon the boy is overwhelmed as water pours from nowhere onto his head. People stop and stare as he loses control and panics. The people scream and point, and quickly a mob begins to form. They advance on the boy, their eyes filled with hate and fear. The boy screams for help as the crowd closes in on him. Just when all hope seems to be lost, a metallic object flies through the air and slams into the ground in front of the boy. It forms a barrier between him and the angry mob. The boy hides behind it, trembling as the crowd bangs against it, screaming for the creature to show itself. As the mob bangs against the metal, the camera pans away. From the boy, it rises slowly to show us a dark figure standing tall above the rest of the crowd. The camera zooms in on his grim face as he speaks. They fear what they do not understand. I have seen this hatred before and will not let it consume another generation. That's our host. How would he go about building the X-Men? Let's find out. In a world where Magneto leads the X-Men, it's not always easy being a young mutant. The dangers of uncontrolled powers and the constant threat of exposure to the outside world means you must always be wary. For some, even the simplest of tasks can go wrong, like getting caught in the rain. We open on a shot of a young boy, no more than 10 years old, walking through the street. Now let's get started. We open on a young Eric Lenscher, or shall I say Magneto, walking through the streets of post-World War II Germany. Using his mastery over magnetism, Magneto locates an abandoned mansion in the middle of nowhere. As the final pieces come together, a powerful surge of energy courses through the machine, and a brilliant light fills the room. One day he comes across a young boy who can control the weather, but is struggling to keep his powers hidden. With each new student, the mansion fills with life and laughter. One day, however, everything changes. In that moment, Magneto realizes that he has become more than just a teacher. He has become a hero. But Magneto's work is never truly finished. As more mutants emerge, there will always be those who fear and oppose them. So what do you think?
Oh.
Would Magneto really become a hero? How do you think his X-Men would turn out?